The outline for our session today would welcome and introduce ourselves, share a brief about Kuueza, and then we have just a little announcement to make. We'll introduce the team and our guest speaker, and then hand ourselves over to him for the main session. Kindly note your questions that you would have, either in the chat, or you could hold up till the end of the session for you to share. Then we acknowledge share some few announcements and close. We are hoping to keep the entire session under an hour and 30 minutes, so a maximum of an hour and 30 minutes we should be done with the entire program. So, if you will be so kind to just quickly introduce yourselves quickly, your name and your business would do for now. So kindly unmute, introduce yourself, and then mute again. That would really help. That would really help. So anyone wants to start? My name is Valerius. I'm with the Kuueza Ghana team.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm from Mamsnet, Ghana.
Okay, Gustav from Mamsnet. Thank you for joining. Sorry, who else wants to go? Who else wants to quickly introduce yourself and the name of your business?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Linda Edison, Bodel's Crafts from Ghana.
Okay, Bodel's Crafts from Ghana. Thank you, Linda, for joining.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Anne Mundi, Creative Food Solutions from Cameroon.
Okay, from Cameroon.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Jacqueline Rubisakite from Ghana.
Okay. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Mundi, for also sharing from Cameroon.
Hello, good morning. My name is Gwandu from Botswana, from retail space.
Okay, Gwandu from Botswana. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Grace from Mamsnet Nutrition, currently in France.
Nice to have you here, Grace.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandra Princess from Ghana, with Ghana. Thank you.
Okay, great. Great to have you here, Alexandria.
Hello and good morning. I'm Fiorella and I'm part of the technical staff at Kuueza and I work with the website. Nice to meet you.
Nice to have you here, Fiorella. We've had good home support. We have okay, so I think we are through with the merchants. Grace just joined us. Grace, if you can, sorry, Grace Yakubu, not Grace Asha. If you can kindly share your name and the name of your business, your country. Yes, hello, Grace Yakubu, if you can share. And then we would hear from our boss, Maxwell, and then go on.
Do I have to write it in the chat box?
No, you can just share right now.
Okay, kindly give me a minute. Where I am is not convenient for me, so I'll get a better place to do that.
All right, sure. All right, while you wait, can we hear from you, sir? I'm sure we'll hear from okay, we'll hear from Maxwell as we proceed. So thank you all for introducing yourself. For those who just joined us, we will take the introductions hopefully at the end of the session. So most of us are already merchants on Kuueza, and some of us are prospects. For example, Owen Ghana is an international women trade company or organization, and they're joining us for the first time. So most of you are prospects and some of you are already merchants. So just to share something brief about Kuueza, and then we go ahead. So Kuueza over the past 10 years have been going through the African continent and looking at the real challenges that most businesses face, whether small scale, medium scale businesses face when they're trying to get exposure for their products. Oftentimes it has to do with logistics, has to do with protocols, documentations, and even how to get proper exposure for their products. And that's exactly what Kuueza is here to solve, to give your products, your locally produced products, the necessary global exposure that it needs, which would eventually translate into sales if your product is winning and if your product is unique. And we achieve this through the re-exchange service. So the re-exchange service subscribes merchants like me on the platform where you can have your products at the warehouse, and so that we can supply constantly and we can supply very quickly to sellers and customers that are interested in your product. Because we don't have to wait all the time for a customer to say, I want this product, and then we have to ship it all the way from Ghana, Cameroon, Botswana. It will take time. So what we do is that on an agreed service, we have some quantities of your products at our warehouse. We supply them to stores, we keep stock, and then we can quickly supply stores that run out of stock whilst you focus on what you do, which is creating or producing your content. That's all about brief information about Kuueza, and then also about the re-exchange service. So finally, just a quick announcement. Those of us on the merchant platform, we shared earlier this morning that one of our merchants, Marian, lost the dad just recently, and then their funeral rites are ongoing. She shared that with us as an apology for not being able to join this meeting. And so we have shared it on the platform. We've extended your condolences. We appreciate you for that. So we'll just hold just a minute, less than 30 seconds for the memory of her dad. I also want to stress that it's not selective. We know this because it was shared with us. So if you're going through any personal milestones or just important memorable events in your family or business, kindly share with us and we'll take time to commensurate with you. All right. Thank you very much for holding up the silence with us. So the theme for this for today's Road to Success webinar is empowering entrepreneurs like all of us here to thrive in the digital marketplace. I will not attempt to try and explain the theme because Dr. Gatton is here to do justice to that. But what we will cover here is for us to learn essential strategies to succeed in the digital space. We also look at tools, certain tools we can use and how to effectively use them if we are currently using them to make the most out of it. We also get experience insight navigating the digital space. Dr. Jackson is an expert in that field. So permit me to introduce Dr. Jackson, our guest speaker for today. So he's the co-founder of Kuueza, most importantly for us. He's the head of programs management and shared services at 5x5. Former executive at USAC Advisors, Capstone Strategy Group, KPMG. He also advises the US Department of State on GIS projects in Africa. Professor at the University of Maryland University College. He holds a PhD and a master's in computer science. So he has very extensive expertise with global markets, multilingual entrepreneur with excellent skills. And he's also an experienced executive with P&L responsible for business unit leadership. So what we would tap from his wealth of experience and knowledge today is his specialty to advise corporations, define business strategies, streamline operations, and all that we need to make our business successful in the digital space, and even with our brick and mortar businesses that we also have. So this is the man of the movement, and we'll be learning a lot from him in the next few minutes. Thank you very much for your time. So after this, I'll just hand over the it to Dr. Gaston and can take it from there. Dr. Gaston, good morning again and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you so much for being here. And I'll say good afternoon to everyone on the call. So I'm very excited to share some thoughts about, how to succeed in the digital marketplace. So let me bring up my presentation, and then we're going to get started. And I'm so glad to have people from all over Africa. It's always good to have a perspective from different part of the continent and make sure that we can blend it as we talk business. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to be brief, but I want us to be very practical in our discussion. And I want each of you, as we go through this discussion, to really reflect on what does that mean for me, based on the country I am, based on the reality in that country, and based on my business and where I want to take my business. Because we have to keep in mind that everybody has their own goal, their own business, their own strategy. And how can I adapt what we'll be discussing this morning to my business so that I can grow? So a lot of people talk about the digital economy. I would like us to really lay the ground and define what is the digital economy. What does that mean in very simple terms? And from there, try to assess together, what do we have to do to really take advantage of it? Why should we embrace the digital economy? And what is our way to success as we start looking at some of those technologies? So the digital economy really has three pillars. The first pillar of the digital economy is what we call infrastructure. Infrastructure means hardware, software, cloud security. And for many of us, those are very abstract topics. But I'll start with the last one, that is security. I'm sure many of you have received an email from somebody say, hey, I travel, I'm stuck, can you send me some money? Because somebody hacked into your email and now they are phishing and they're engaging other people on your name. Security, it's a critical part of the digital economy. A lot of us, when we set up either our WhatsApp or our website or what have you, we don't always think about the ramification of why that infrastructure is critical. What do I have to do to make sure that I secure my data and I secure my asset? Because what you do online, it's part of the asset of your business. The second thing is the cloud. When people talk about the cloud, we all think it's something very abstract. Where is that located? Again, I'm going to take a very simple example. I'm pretty sure everybody here has a WhatsApp account. You can use WhatsApp in Botswana, in Cameroon, in Ghana, in Nigeria. I'm sure I don't know if you ever wonder why and how can that be done? How is that possible that regardless where you go, you can use the same application? It's because they use a cloud. It's a cloud-based application. Everybody can access it anywhere at any time. So try to reflect to yourself and say, if I want to be a business in this world, can I also have something, an application that allow people to access my environment everywhere at every time? And as soon as you ask that question, again, we go back to security, correct? How do I make sure it is secure for the people that are accessing my environment? Because that perception of security is extremely important when somebody comes and visits your website. And of course, we have to invest in hardware and software. And I know, hardware software being the foundation of any technology, endeavor you're going to start, many of us always struggle about the cost. But it's not expensive. Remember, in today's day and age, a lot of the things are offered to you in the cloud, where for a very low, investment, you can take advantage of that technology and almost be like a global entity. So again, the first part is really infrastructure. That is the hardware that you need, the software that you need, the cloud that enables you to quickly deploy your application, so that people can access them. You don't have to have a data center where you're managing everything. You can have it online, and security, that's extremely important. Now that you have your infrastructure, the next piece is really the e-commerce, and that's what you're talking about here. Many of you are in very remote places, and I'm sure you like to sell regionally in Africa, but as well as, and mostly probably to the United States. How will I know about a company that's doing extremely well, has a great product in Ghana, but I can't see what they do? So being able to use e-commerce to really drive transaction between you and the potential customer that you want to engage, that is the foundation of what you're trying to do with Kuueza. Really giving you that gateway to present your product, to sell them to the customer, and really feel big. Quite often, the way you present your online presence says a lot about the company. If it's shady, people might not look at you. If it's impressive and easy to use, people say, wow, I really like this company. I want to go explore and see what they do. So the second piece when you talk about the digital economy is e-commerce. Very important to make sure that you have an online presence, but e-commerce also goes a little bit further. Let's assume you sell clothing or you sell honey. People love it. But you don't take any time to replenish your inventory. You don't take any time to track whether or not there's some orders. You only check your your inventory, your website, or your emails once in a while. You're going to get some customer disappointed, because in the US, it's about a 24/7. When you do e-commerce, you are there 24/7, and people want to be able to come, check for products, access the products, and even order. So if you go to Amazon, Amazon never close. They never close the shop. They're always open. You can order anytime, and within a few seconds, place your order and get a confirmation. So as you start going to other market, people want to make sure that you adopt that thinking. It's not a one-time business. It's about, if I'm going online, I have to understand that I should be responsive for the customer. I should make sure that I always update, part of quantity in my inventory. I should look at some of the testimonial where people can talk about, wow, this is a great shop, this is a great business, this is what they do. So I really want you to start thinking that way. The more you engage with a customer, the more you show you're different, the better it is. People all have challenges. Telling people, oh, I couldn't process your order because I was sick, or I couldn't process your order because there was no power. That might work in our environment in Africa, but in the global world, it doesn't. So again, as you're looking at e-commerce, you also have to understand the reality of where you are and how you make sure that your e-commerce presence is successful. Last but not least, I want to talk about the digital media. The good news is almost everybody right now is using either TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. But as you go into the business world, you have to find a better way to leverage those tools. Let's look at a TikTok. Let's go back to somebody who's doing cookies or something. What about creating a wonderful TikTok video that can go viral? You put it on your website so people can know, okay, this cake, this cookie, I can eat it with milk or with honey, something that will engage people. Use technology to your advantage. Use your Facebook page to drive traffic, to have people reference you, to make sure that you post once, it's replicated throughout the web. So I know a lot of us are using the digital media, but one of the challenge in the way people using digital media is that they mostly use it for personal consumption. I want you as a business to start thinking about, what can I do to really use the digital media to my advantage? You might not have a full website. Create yourself a Facebook page, okay? Link it to your Instagram. Get things moving. Don't wait. If you need resources, that's where Kuueza is here. They can tell you how to make that happen. But Think about if I'm trying to serve the US market, those are the things that people look at. They're going to look at your TikTok account. They're looking at, do you have any nice TikTok video? They're going to look at your Facebook account, see what's out there. Is that updated? If you update your Facebook once every 3 years, nobody's going to come again. But if every day there's something new, now you start attracting people. So really, the digital economy is making sure that you use the infrastructure that's out there, you embrace e-commerce, and use the digital media to engage your audience. So, and that really comes back to why should you embrace technology? And I was touching on that already a little bit earlier. Most company, little company, they do everything on paper. Just imagine if every time you have a new product, you have to find somebody to take pictures and put a catalog and go to the printer and print the catalog so that people can see and then start mailing that to people. A, it's expensive, and B, you can't even do that. So as you start using the digital economy, you can have somebody, whenever you have a new product, they just update the existing product catalog that's online, and within a few seconds, boom, it's pushed to the net. It gives you efficiency. Technology is there to give you efficiency in everything you do. Same thing with the social media. What social media enables you to do is to reach millions of people with one single click. Think about the power you have in your hands by using technology. And that leads to the next thing, exposure. When people look at Kuueza, it doesn't really matter whether it's in Ghana, what have you, they look at a company that's global. In fact, many people here in the US, when you talk about Kuueza, they think it's a company that's all over the US because of the exposure and the branding that they put together. Extremely important. Your web presence, your web identity, it's extremely important to gain exposure and make sure that people know who you are. And of course, that leads to timely customer engagement that I was talking about earlier. If you have a website that you don't update, if you have a Facebook page that you don't update, if your last TikTok was in 1998, nobody's going to come to your website. But if you give people teasers all the time, you show people what's new, what's coming on, they will always come back to you because they want to see what's new. Of course, your product has to be good too, because you can do all of that, but if you don't have a good product, it doesn't matter, correct? So my assumption here is you're selling something that people like, and people always want to come back, hear some stories, get some feedback. Many of us don't use testimonial. Testimonials are extremely powerful to engage customers. Because, in fact, when I buy something on Amazon, the first thing I'm going to look at is the reviews when I buy a new product. And Amazon is doing a pretty good job right now. If they have like 10 different products, they're always going to put like Amazon choice. So regardless what you do, it has an impact on how you approach that product, correct? Because, oh, wow, if they say this is their choice, there might be something about this product. So I'm bringing those things up because I want to make sure that we really understand the value of using this technology, So extremely important to engage customer. I was telling you about inventory. You have to be able to track and streamline your processes. When you start doing business online, you have to track your inventory. You have to be able to make sure that your process is streamlined, on time when somebody asks you some question, if somebody has a feedback. And really at the end of the day, all of that, it's going to help you reduce cost and grow fast. For me, the digital economy, it's really an extremely powerful strategy if you embrace it. It allows you as a business to primarily focus on what you do and let technology help you access new market, help you engage customer, and help you be successful. So, what is your path to success? I always say to people, you have to invest in yourself. If you look at investing in technology as a burden, then you don't like your business, you don't like yourself. You have to invest in yourself to really understand, if I want to go global, what does that mean for me? If I want to adopt the digital economy, what does that mean for me? And where can I get the training? Who can I talk to? Who can give me some insight, some experience because they have done it? What were some of the pitfalls they faced? And what was successful in what they did? Invest in yourself. As a business owner, the first thing you really have to do is that. Invest in yourself, meaning train yourself. Look for what type of training exists in your field, in the type of business. If you're, for example, doing food, what are the trends in food marketing? If you're doing clothing, look at what are people looking for in terms of clothing and what have other people done? What can I learn? You can always learn from other people. Invest in yourself. Item number 2, invest in your business. You cannot be a business today if you do not have a digital footprint. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. You need to have a digital footprint if you're serious. It doesn't mean you have to have a big website. As I mentioned to you, most of us have a Facebook page. Put a Facebook page with your product. That's already good to get started. But you need to have a digital presence. As you started growing, start investing in things that will go with your growth. Let me create a little catalog of my products so that if somebody asks me, what are you selling? I can sell it to them. If I'm selling to the US, I know the US is very particular about food and allergies. Start describing how much calories, what's in your food, what are the allergens that you have in there. Look at those things. That's an investment you do in yourself. Product catalog, looking at how other people do, goes back to training, and make sure that you are up to the other people. Look at pricing. How do I price my product to be competitive in this business? What marketing strategy do other people use to make sure they are successful? Invest in your business. It doesn't mean you have to put a lot of money, but put the right amount of cash as you look at your business strategy where you want to be. Make sure that you invest so you can grow accordingly. Sometimes you might have to team up with somebody else to say, you know what, I produce A, you produce B. If you get together, we can join forces and be successful. Those are the things that have to go through your mind every single day. The third thing is understand your competition. And I have to tell you guys something very funny. I've been advising a lot of African businesses in the US, small businesses. When you talk to most of them, you're going to see, and that's funny, they operate almost like we operate back home. 2 businesses next to each other, they both sell the same thing. When you go to them and ask them, who's your competition? They tell you, I don't have any competition. And I ask them, why? They say, oh, you know what? I'll sell whatever God asked me to sell, although the guy next door sells the same thing, but I know I'm going to be good. That strategy might work in some areas, but I have to be honest with you. We all have a competition, and you have to know what the competition does so that you can be much better. That's an example of bus. In all African countries, you go from one city to another one, most people will take a bus. I'm sure some people might say a bus is a bus, but I do know that depending on where you are, depending on how much money you have, there are different buses. Because some people understood that the bus is not a bus. If I want to beat the competition, I may want to have a bus with air conditioning. I may want to have a bus with internet access. I may want to have the bus with air conditioning, internet access, and some food service in the bus. Understand your competition. What are the other people doing, and how do I differentiate myself? Don't copy your competition. Just be different. That's also extremely important. Find something that will make you stand out. I'll talk about food again because we all eat food. You guys, probably when you look at food, McDonald's and Burger King, they all look the same. I will tell you that the French fries taste totally different. And I think the food is so funny because when I look at the US, most of the fast food restaurants sell chicken. McDonald's will give you chicken. Burger King will give you chicken. Popeye will give you chicken. KFC will give you chicken. I can count. But trust me, each one tastes different. Why? Because I spent some time understanding, okay, what is the competition doing? How do I differentiate myself to put a different spin on my product so that I can have my customer base? People will say, I can only, eat McDonald's. You might be doing coffee. Same thing. What makes your coffee different? I'll tell you, there was one company I met in Cameroon, they sell coffee. So they came to the United States. I don't drink coffee, I'm sorry. But the funny thing is, they were sold out pretty fast. The thing that made the difference was the packaging. They was using African fabric to put the coffee bag in there. So people were not buying necessarily because of the coffee, it's because of the design of the product. That fabric really made people say, oh, wow, let me see what's in there. So again, understand your competition and see what you can do to stand out. So at the end of the day, I really want you to think about when you look at digital economy is how do I use technology to differentiate myself and grow? It's not about making a huge investment in technology, but it's about understanding how technology can better serve you to grow faster. So you don't have to do everything manually. And to close it, I really want to talk about Kuueza as a very good example so you guys can get an illustration. So they just, revamped their website lately, and you guys can't imagine how many people have been calling me, say, oh, wow, that company, what are they doing? What happened? I love their website. I love what's happening. It's the web presence. It's the way you engage people, So it's really, really important, some of the things they've done. Now people can go and look at some of the products. They see all these beads, they see the bag. And the next question is going to be, how do I get those products here? So it is really about engaging people. And I'm pretty sure the folks at Kuueza, they don't have to call every single merchant or every single vendor in the US. People can go by themselves and browse the product. And then when they're ready to go, they can decide to buy. But it enables them to be up 24/7. And I think they revamped the whole website within like a month. So it also gives you an idea about how fast things could be in today's economy. They can feature some of the merchant. And I want to bring your attention here. Let's imagine you're working with Kuueza, and now Kuueza is going to feature you on their website. Somebody's going to click there and say, oh, wow, I really want to know about Juan Cove trading in Ghana. They click the link, you don't exist. You don't have any Facebook page, you don't have any TikTok, and what have you. And then they go to Yapi Royal Enterprise in Ghana. They see a nice product catalog and everything else. Where do you think they're going to buy their product going forward? They're going to forget you and they're going to go to Yapi. So as you now start embracing Kuueza as an enabling platform for you, it's important to make sure you understand what you need to do as a business. You need to make sure that you have your inventory, you provide some product for the catalog, you have some presence, people can go and see where you are, and you're reliable, you respond to your email, and you can engage customers. You have some feedback about your product, and I'll push you, ask Kuueza to ask some of their customers to provide feedback to you so you can post on your website. It is extremely important to take advantage of the digital economy if you want to grow today. If you want to stay in your country, just sell locally, that's fine. But if you want to go into some of the fastest growing markets, this is what you have to do. So I really want to thank you guys for the time that you're taking. It is a pleasure, and I'm here to respond to any question you have. And I want to thank the Kuueza team again for putting this event together. Okay? So thank you guys. Back to you, Mr. Presenter.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gatson, for that wonderful and yet brief presentation. I know we are all very, very busy people, and due to time constraints, we can't spend enough time together. However, the chat option is open. If you have any questions as well, you can just kindly show by hand or unmute and ask so that we can get Dr. Gadsden's response on it. So any questions that you have for Dr. Gadsden in relation to what he shared or anything related to the team?
Don't be shy to ask the first question. Then let me try to engage. Okay, there's Moses wants to start. Moses, yeah, great.
Moses, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Gadsden. It's quite a reaching training, I will term it to be this morning, because it's an eye-opener to we hear that in Africa, because what you have just taught us this morning is just for us to be able to carry it across, because here we are, we represent most of the processors and a lot of cooperatives who do not have this knowledge. And I want to thank Kuueza for what they have just done. And I will appreciate if this can be repeated, maybe if not monthly, maybe every 3 months, we bring up such training program like this for we merchants that are on the platform. I have gained a lot, and I have learned what I could be able to pass across to people here. I am Dr. Moses Timothy. I represent Youth Farm Multipurpose Cooperative Limited here in Nigeria. We just rounded up a program with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Lagos. That was on Monday. And a lot of, most of the processors who deals in a product that is marketable in America or elsewhere, what you have just shared, most of them are neither there. So I think the role this webinar has done is for people like us who have access to them, even to reach out to them, organize a local kind of training, bring in people in the media, social media, who will be able to help them, because some people don't even have Facebook, like you mentioned. They are not on Instagram, neither website. Some see it as a waste of money. Why spend that money on things they believe is not going to yield money to them? But like I used to tell them, if your product is not well packaged and not well, marketed, it's not going to add value to it. So I want to thank you guys for this opportunity. And also I want to promise you guys that we that are on the platform of the Kuueza as verified merchant, we will do a lot. I'm going to go back and put things in order that I've learned from this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to take it a step further, because we all know that in Africa, there are few single small business who have the resources to engage at the global level. But cooperatives are really that gateway that bridges the gap. Some of the things that people like in the US, because when you buy, and that's from the Gen Z also, people just don't buy the product, they buy the story. They buy who is behind. What am I doing? Am I having impact? And I'm buying. I know that a lot of the food processors are small farmers. They do it to feed their family. They do it to send their children to school. They do it to survive. Being able to present that story, being able to do a small video that really shows people where you go from the farm to the finished product has a huge impact on the buying, because now you're telling your story. Everybody sells a product. So why am I going to buy your product? Because you guys tell me the story of that mom who really puts love in the product that she's selling to people. Oh, wow, I love it. I'm going to buy it. You have to tell the story behind your product. And you have to get also your team know, and I like the fact that you say people say technology is a waste of money. Not everybody has to invest in technology, but by using a cooperative, you as an organization, your job is to make sure that you are the face of the people you're representing, and you really help them get there. So thanks for your feedback, and I'm glad you like it. And we're here to continue to provide some guidance and support.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gaston.
Thank you very much.
Do we have any questions? Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Can I please put up a suggestion?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Gaston and the Kuueza group. I appreciate this topic so much, and thank you for the insight. I'm doing my MBA in digital business and innovation, so I really appreciate this topic. And I know as a business, if you are able to go digitalized, it means that you are going to be big. So we thank you so much. And I would suggest to Kuueza that if you can organize training, hands-on training for entrepreneurs in Ghana, that we can, even at a fee, that they can get trained, because sometimes they don't know how to even start. They don't know. You create the page, but you have to be consistent in the creating of, you have to create stories like doctor said and all that. But if you don't have the right training, sometimes it's difficult. So I would just suggest that if you can put it in part of your plans, that going forward, if you can organize something for this group, it will be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace, for the feedback.
Okay.
I'm sure the Kuueza team will do something along those lines. And I'm so glad you're doing, your MBA in
digital
the
business
digital
and innovation in France. Yeah, I'm in France currently.
Yeah. Because one of the things that a lot of our people don't really take advantage of is the digital economy. And I'm going to take, again, I'm extremely critical of myself, and I want to be critical of the people I'm working with, because if you don't strive to the next level, you will not succeed. What do I say with that? Today, when you're looking for technical people, you don't have to think twice. I know I'm going to go to India. That's where I'm going to find all the technical people. You're looking for a call center, I'm going to go to Ireland. I'm looking for X, those places are. I don't know if Africa has been able to carve a place for itself in the digital economy. Not because we don't have the resources, it's because getting organized, creating a brand, and defining what you stand for. I will be glad to know that if I need people who know how to do marketing for food, I'll go to Nigeria. Marketing for clothing, I'll go to Ghana. Marketing for art, I'll go to Cameroon. Really use technology to brand yourself. We don't do it well enough because we are used to our culture where you say, you know what, I know my product is good, people are going to come and eat it. No, it's not enough, because many other people have good product and people are going to buy. What makes you different? Is that your service? Is that the packaging of your food? Or is that special spice that you add to your food that people don't know about? And since not everyone's going to be able to taste your food before they buy it, what do you do to have them engage with you? That's where the TikTok comes in, where somebody can do a video, say, oh, well, yummy, and blah, blah, blah. So again, I really think Kuueza should drive some of those initiatives, probably with the university, and have some of those practical training sessions. In fact, I just launched such a program like that here in Philadelphia, where there's a university, they have the best food marketing program in the US. And you have a lot of African businesses in the city. So I asked them the question, why don't you have a program that tailors to those people that's culture sensitive? because some of the point that we're bringing, it's because of our culture, correct? How do you set up a program that will make sure that these people understand how to be competitive in the global economy? And we're going to launch that program within the next 2 to 3 months. So I do believe, Kuueza being in Accra, you can go to Logan University, marketing department, and push a professor, push a dean, ask them what can they do to work with you to drive these changes, and then link yourself to the Chamber of Commerce. So I like that idea. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for the extra information. We are still, okay, Anita, we are still in the question and answer session. We'll just take a few minutes on this and then we wrap up. If you have any questions, feedback for us, kindly share, especially for Dr. Gatson. He's very difficult, busy man to find. So if you have any questions, please, this is the time that you can benefit from his expertise. For the Kuueza team, we're always available for you. Yes, Dr. Moses.
Can I come in, please?
Yeah, Dr. Moses, go ahead. Sorry. Is that Jacqueline?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead. Then we'll take Dr. Moses.
Okay. Into processing of peanut butter, roasted peanuts, and other value added to peanuts. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So my question is, what is Kuueza going to do different from the last attempt? I had registered and I was asked to send some samples through DHL. So because of that, I had to register for a DHL account and I sent the sample. There's a lot of things that went wrong. I was so dissatisfied, so I didn't just continue. I would like to know, what are you going to do differently? And also the digital space now, the cost of freights, the cost of delivery.
Can you hear me?
Cost of delivery.
Can you hear me?
It's so high.
Yeah, Dr. Moses, we can hear you. Kindly hold on for Jacqueline to finish.
So freight cost was so high that it affected the price as well. Even delivery services within Ghana, the cost of delivery is so high. And this is really killing the business in terms of somebody orders for a product and the delivery cost alone is like 3 times the amount of the item. How is Kuueza going to help us? What are the plans of Kuueza in terms of cost of freight, in terms of payment? I just want to know, what are the plans? What are you going to do differently this time? Thank you.
Is Maxwell around?
Yes, I'm here.
No, yeah, Maxwell, do you want to take that one?
So thank you, Jacqueline, for your feedback. First and foremost, we follow up on your product. When you ship the product, 1 peanut butter was almost $20 for your 1 kg, if you remember, because of the DHL shipping. No one will buy your product for $20. We understand the shipping issue with the DHL. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when the product was even sold at that high price, you were paid. And according to the your exchange service agreement, which is the previous one, you are expected to pay $50 as a subscription, which you did not, and you got angry because of that. As we always tell everyone, we are not.
Sorry, I paid the $50. It was the second time I was asked to pay again when I had not even sold up to $50. I didn't see it's wise to continue.
Absolutely. According to our service argument, we're not responsible to sell your product. We're not the one selling your product for you. We give you access to market to sell the product. So if it sells or not, that is not what we're in control of. We can't control that. Even though you can't pay because you're not selling, there was a lot of attempt to speak to you, which you declined. And for that reason, the team doesn't really think why they should engage with you further, because you are expecting us to go and sell your product, and the price that you're going to sell the product is very high. Don't forget you are dealing with a retailer. No one will buy the product for that price. And we still manage to sell it. And a lot of that product are still in the store that bought it. No one buys it there. It expired, and we had to take it away from those stores because no one is buying it. So you need to understand this different scenario of how we work. We're not going to be the one to buy your product. If you get to the store, if your product is doing very well, the price is good, they will buy it. So what we do different this time around is we're no more doing $50 monthly subscription, number one. You have to subscribe to the honor plan, and now you're not going to pay for the shipping. So it's not going to be $20 for 1 kg because no one will buy it. If you subscribe to the honor plan, we ship the product every single month or every two months or when it's sold out to the store, and you're not paying the shipping. And the retailers are not paying the shipping if you subscribe to the honor plan. That is one option for you. The second option is you can decide to register on our new platform and create an account for free. If somebody buys your product, we charge you a transaction fee. That is not a contract, that is just a free account, and you are not on our exchange. So those are the two different. So there's nothing we've done wrong previously. It's just because maybe you didn't understand the fact that we're not selling your products, and we can't give you feedback until your product gets to the store. So, and you got a feedback about the product when it got to the store. I'm sure there's a monthly sales report sent to you. So you need to understand all of these things, that it has to get to the store. The retailers has to buy it because the price is good. And the consumer will buy from the retailer if the price is good. If the consumer do not buy your product, the retailer will not take the product. If you look at the US market or other sellers of peanut butter, they supply us peanut butter like $3, $4. 1 kg is about $6. And don't forget, with the shipping, yours goes to almost $20. So these are the challenges faced as per your product because of the shipping. So if you wanted to sign on to the honor plan, or you want to create a new account this time around, you're welcome back. But we want you to bear in mind that we're not responsible to sell your product. The market sells a product. It's just like you wanted to sell, you go to Mokola Market, you have to open a store, and consumer will come and buy the product. So Kuueza is like a Mokola Market in the US or elsewhere where you pass through to get a product to the store. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Before we go back to Jacqueline, if I can add something, remember when I was talking about the digital economy, you have to understand your competition. And I think that is an exercise where Kuueza can put more emphasis, because specifically peanut butter, it's extremely diverse market of peanut butter. And you have to make sure you understand the competition and why and where should you position your product. You know, there are at least 20 brands of peanut butter. The thing that tend to ask for, you know, that tends to command more price, it's bio, natural type of peanut butter. So is your peanut butter in that category? If yes, how do you show it to people? Now it goes back to labeling, goes back to packaging, goes back to the story that you tell. So yes, you have the platform. Yes, you want to take advantage of the digital economy, but again, you have to go back to the fundamental, correct? Know your market, know your product, know the competition, and then use the technology on your behalf. And I'm glad that, you know, Kuueza is trying to look at means to adapt, because we have to be honest. Most of Africa doesn't have the infrastructure today, you know, so we're trying to bridge that gap to help people in different countries to take advantage, because the world is not waiting for us until we're ready and have the infrastructure. So how do you bridge that gap? And that is a gap that Kuueza is trying to bridge with all the challenges that it has. So I think it's that collaboration between the two and that ongoing learning process to say, yes, they want to get you to the market, and B, how do we adapt? How do we change? And with concession, do we have to both do together to be successful? I just want to add it to Maxwell's comment.
Thank you, Dr. Gustin. But if I could add, you see, I don't know how the mode of payment is going to be. But if after 2 months, they send you price for 2 bottles, and after another 3 months, they send you the price, the payment for another 2 or 1 bottle, it destroys the capital. We are SMEs. I don't know how the payment is going to be this time. If you gather it and you send it in bulk, then it helps to also buy your raw materials. But if you are sent 2 bottles, money, 1 bottle, money, it will destroy the business. So this is a point I also want you to note also. Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
Jacqueline, thank you for that. We don't send 1 bottle, we don't send 2 bottles, just to let you know. It's up to you when you want us to pay you. You will get a report every single month on how much is sold, how much is left, where the product is being retailed, what quantity is in each store. So if you wanted to accumulate all your payment and collect at once, that's up to you. We have a merchant from Senegal. She's been selling on our platform for 3-4 years. She never get paid anytime until few weeks ago. She said she wanted to accumulate all the payments. So you can do the same. We have all those options. You just need to ask, and we will do the right thing as you want it. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Dr. Moses had a follow-up question.
This session. Just by way of announcement, the feedback about organizing the Road to Success Seminar monthly is something that Kuueza will always try to do, to see how often we can organize these trainings, these sessions for merchants, and then for us. We always love to connect with you merchants. So any list opportunity we get to meet all of us like this, we'll always take advantage of that. As for the hands-on training, thank you for the recommendation. We'll share it with the appropriate team and get feedback to you as soon as possible. Any more questions for Dr. Gaston or feedback for us? But this is not still the end. After the session, if you still have things that pop up, you can just kindly share with us on the merchant platform that we are all part of, either the prospect platform or the verified merchant platform. We'll be glad to respond to it. So, Doctor, okay, before we allow Doctor to go, he mentioned something about the social media URLs and then keeping a digital footprint. So fortunately for us, we have that feature on the upgraded website where merchants can input their URLs either from Facebook, from IG, from TikTok, LinkedIn profile pages. You can add it to your store. So just as Doctor recommended, when the storefront is stacked on the website, it directs them to your storefront where buyers can get all the URLs to your social media platforms, so they can connect with you there, or they can see the work that you are doing there. The website might be limited in so many ways for you to upload your videos and your product story. But if you do that on other social media platforms, which they are designed for, you can just add the links to your storefront and give your potential buyers a peek into your business operation. So just to share that as an addition. All right, Doctor, I think we've taken much of your time this afternoon. Any final words before we wrap up?
It was my pleasure to be here this morning, and I hope some of the discussion we have will be beneficial to the small businesses. And any follow-up, reach out to me. I'll be glad to respond to any question people have. So again, thanks you guys for your time, and talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jackson. When Dr. Moses, we're able to hear from Dr. Moses, we'll share his follow-up and feedback with you. Thank you all for being a part of this monthly session. Hope to talk to you soon. I hope to interact with you moving forward. And have a great day and a restful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.